Hey everybody, and welcome to the Inspired Disorder podcast. My name is Ray Taylor, and as always, tonight I am joined by...
I'm Derek Helmer.
And I'm Justin King.
And the Inspired Disorder podcast is a weekly art/geek culture podcast. We discuss topics ranging from tech to art to movies to video games and everything in between. We broadcast live Wednesday nights at 11:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And you can find that feed at inspireddisorder.com/live. And the edited version will be up on the internet. You can find that at inspireddisorder.com/podcast or through iTunes by Saturdays. In this particular episode 11, we will be discussing some gamers getting banned from Xbox Live. We're going to talk a little bit about the Call of Duty craze and things like that. Also, a Twitter account at @ShitMyDadSays lands a TV deal, and also we're going to discuss some Black Friday anticipatory deals that we are looking forward to. So let's just get right into it, starting off with the Xbox banning, or Microsoft banning the players for playing bootlegged video games. Justin, you brought this story to our attention.
I did.
And so why don't you kind of get us all up to speed on that?
Well, basically, just about maybe a month ago now, prior to the release of Halo 3 ODST, Microsoft went and kind of did like a cleaning of house of sorts on people who were playing Xbox Live games like Halo 3 and Call of Duty and whatnot on a hacked system. Basically, they're hacking their system so they can play burnt games, burned off the internet onto through BitTorrent onto a DVD. So Xbox Live, they caught wind to this and eventually found a way where they can actually pinpoint certain people who were exploiting that technicality, and they decided to ban them. Basically, 600,000 people were banned, and out of about 20 million Xbox Live users, that's not that much, but it's still the first time I've heard of a corporation like Microsoft doing something like this, where they canceled their accounts completely. They are no longer they're no longer allowed to play on Xbox Live ever again for doing this. So
yeah,
pretty heavy stuff.
So Derek, do you happen to know anybody that has a hacked Xbox or anything like that, or plays?
I've never come across anybody that has. I've seen the torrents listed on like Pirate Bay or something that you could do it, but it never occurred to me how that was possible. Like, first off, I'm really cheap, so I'm like, well, that means I'd have to buy a dual layer DVD, and those are kind of pricey. So that's my first instinct, is that I'm not gonna do it because I don't want to buy some dual layer, which is how small of a price compared to buying a new game. But
yeah.
I don't know. It's never something that's really appealed to me, and I haven't met anybody who's actually modded it. And I'm really curious what kind of modification. Like, is it a hardware mod, or is it just install new software over your Microsoft OS on it or something? So no, I've never come across any of these. But 600,000. Well, there's certainly a lot of them out there. I just can't believe, it's not so bad, that they, banned their user accounts, because it's pretty easy to make a new user account. You could give fake information pretty easily. But fact they've banned the actual consoles that they were running on. So those consoles can never again be connected to Xbox Live. Now you can still play your games locally, but you can't play any sort of Xbox Live.
That kind of defeats the purpose of a lot of, especially like the new Call of Duty. Like,
seriously,
that's one of the main draws for games like that, is the online play. So I mean, if you get banned to where you can't go online with your games, you're kind of screwed. But I and Justin and I both know a guy who had his Xbox modded, and I believe it has to do. You have to
it's
burn
a
the
hardware
games.
mod.
It's a hardware mod.
It is a hardware mod for sure. You have to get inside the actual system through going through all these crazy little like partitions and little things you have to undo and stuff. It's like an 8-hour long process from what I hear.
Yeah,
wow,
it's pretty intense.
And you have to, like, if you burn the games, you have to have a specific type of burner. Only certain burners can actually burn the game correctly, apparently. But yeah, so he's done that, and he basically, I guess they have ways of checking to see if it's okay to burn the game or to play the game after it's been burned online. But there was an instance when the ODST was coming out, and he had gotten it. I mean, he was getting games early all the time, but he got that a few weeks early, and he was just about to play it. But I forget the reasoning why he didn't hop online, but he ended up going to a site that he regularly checked or whatever to make sure it was clean to play. And there was a bunch of people posting that they were getting banned, getting caught playing ODST early, which, I mean, one thing I understand, it's in the long run, it's cheaper getting basically stealing the games, obviously. But, I don't really have sympathy for anybody that would get caught. I mean, it's, obviously you've been getting away with it. So, and especially getting caught trying to play a game early, like.
Yeah, that seems just stupidity to me, you know? Like you're asking for it. How hard is it for them to see that you're playing it online,
Exactly. It's like, the game isn't released yet, and there's, 300 people playing it. Yeah. But, I mean, even people that review games, they'll get an early copy. A lot of the times they can't play online. Like, it doesn't even allow them to play online because, it hasn't been released yet.
Right.
So, I mean, to have people playing early, obviously, hello. It's like, I'm stealing, and I'm playing with the product I just stole with out in the open so everybody can see it.
Yeah, I don't have as much sympathy for these people. Also, it's not like when you're downloading music or movies or something where it's like so simple, nothing really has to be done for it.
Yeah.
You just put it on, you play it or whatever. But if these people are going through like an 8-hour long process of hacking their unit, then deep down, you're doing something illegal.
Yeah.
You're having to go around all these doors to mod your Xbox. So, you know what? I understand why they wouldn't let those consoles back on the Xbox Live Network. Then if it's an actual physical hack, just
well, you're voiding your warranty first off.
Yeah, I know.
So many things. Many things.
Well, and like on top of just that, ridiculous retardedness, he would actually tweet how he's playing these games. Like, oh, I just got this game and I'm about to play it, and and like I told the guy, like, dude, you're gonna get busted so fast because you're just being an idiot about it. It's like it's like somebody bragging that they just it's like somebody working at a movie theater bragging about how they got the Avatar, like downloaded the Avatar movie early and then was showing it in a theater.
Yeah,
it's like, okay, first off, you're showing it to like public, you're putting it out there in public, and then you're showing it in a public place. Obviously you're gonna get caught sooner or later because you're being an idiot. So, yeah, but he ended up not getting caught. He ended up going into the army. He's actually fighting for our country. So.
God bless him.
Yeah.
Well, another thing, too, is how he was bragging about his buddy who had the modification service. Now, he had a full-on website out there where you could, go to basically see how it's done, see his service he provides. I can't believe he wasn't taken down from the aftermath of all of this also. Yeah. So, craziness. Crazy times.
Totally. All right. So, so moving on from that, I guess, just the message we're saying here is, don't be stupid and, do what you're going to do.
Microsoft sees all and knows all.
Yeah. Don't be an idiot.
Cannot fool them.
So, and you're getting no sympathy from us if you get caught. So, anyway. But leading into our next subject, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, which we all paid for in one way or another with monies. Let's just talk about the insane opening that game had, breaking all kinds of records. Basically, the media that had the next highest record, or the previous record, was Grand Theft Auto 4, which opened up worldwide, selling $310 million worth of the game, 3.6 million units worldwide. In just the U.S. and U.K., in the very first day, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 basically did the same amount of money. It's kind of weird. I don't know how this breaks down. It was $310 million in the first day, but they sold more units, so I'm not sure how that worked out. But anyway, so it's setting new records as far as how many copies, or how much money it's making, I should say, not necessarily copies. And then how that compares to other media. What do you think about that, Derek?
Crazy. It's not. It shouldn't be so surprising, because I think we're all kind of moving into the realm that these video games aren't just video games anymore. That they're they are these interactive movies. So as more and more people realize that, I think the sales will definitely show that. But in the end, this is kind of one of those games that is just I think pretty much if you own an Xbox, you're going to be picking up this thing, or if you own a PlayStation 3, you're picking up this game, just because of the online alone, like we said. So we shouldn't be so surprised that this thing has just blown away all these records.
Yeah.
It's just interesting that we're in that era now, where a video game can surpass a movie.
And so quickly, also.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like within hours, they can make more money than a movie has made ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Through just worldwide release and DVD sales combined in one day.
Yeah, it basically the top grossing movie is Dark Knight, and that in its first week only made $238 million. So, in one day, Modern Warfare 2 was able to make more than that. But I mean, that's with sales. The thing that it seems like it's really good, but when you break it down, how much do you pay for a movie ticket versus how much do you pay for a video game?
Yeah, seriously.
And then also, I mean, usually movies like The Dark Knight probably sold out like every night for most of those days. So there was probably a lot of people getting turned away that couldn't see it because there weren't seats. Whereas a video game, you press, a few extra million copies of a disc that you don't have to worry about running out of, space, because you could just print up more seats, basically. So it's a lot easier for a video game to be able to accommodate everybody that wants to get their hands on it immediately. Whereas, a movie, you might have to wait for another showtime, have to wait for another day. So it can kind of push back to where it's not like everybody that wanted to see The Dark Knight on opening day could have done that. So the numbers are kind of a little bit different. And just especially with this game, there was 4 different versions of the game. So, I mean, the cheapest copy is like $60, whereas the most expensive one is $160. But every ticket sold for The Dark Knight was, $10. So obviously it's going to make more money having a game, so I don't know. It's the margins on the whole, it seems like it does a lot better than a movie would. It's kind of hard to compare because it's almost like apples and oranges,
Very true.
Yeah, very true.
So
just it can't be necessarily compared.
Yeah.
But for argument's sake, we're comparing it.
Yeah.
But
Well, everybody does. I mean, I'm sure it's the video game community that's comparing it just because, it draws a lot more attention to the video game world. I remember the first one that kind of started making this buzz was Halo.
Mm-hmm.
How, it was one of the first games to have this huge release day, and they were all, the numbers were everywhere as far as how much it made and all this stuff. So it's really giving more credibility to video games, I guess you could say, which, is good for the games. I mean, they deserve it because the games are getting amazingly good. But it's kind of unfair necessarily to compare it to other forms of media, like music or movies, because those have different restrictions and things like that.
Well,
So,
you know what this is it's a way for us geeks to get real geek cred. By it's not just a video game. I'm not just playing a video
It's
game.
a multimedia experience.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Yeah.
it's a way, like, I'm sure the gamers are just like, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I did more than Dark Knight. What are you gonna say about it?
Yeah.
You know?
Although a lot of the people going to see Dark Knight weren't necessarily. I'm sure that was a lot of the geek crowd as well. I mean, it is a
True.
comic book movie.
True, but yeah, I don't know. Like when I read something like this, there's a side of me that yes, I'm 29 years old, damn it, and I play Call of Duty, and
Yeah.
you know, so does the rest of the world. So there, ha.
Yeah. So
You know?
don't look down on the gamer, because I am one.
Exactly.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
Sing it loud.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't surprising to me, especially due to my experience I had at Walmart last week with the throng of about 300 people, biting and scratching for their copy. So yeah, like I said, not surprising, but pretty amazing that they made that much money. And what I think it does is open up Hollywood to a lot of these franchises. I mean, you're already seeing a Prince of Persia movie next year.
Yeah.
Guaranteed there's going to be a Call of Duty movie now. There's going to be a God of War movie.
Yeah.
The Halo movie is supposed to happen, but it's kind of like in the process still. But we'll definitely see Halo movies. So I think that's going to be the next big leap in Hollywood, or the next big jump is from comic book franchises to video game franchises because of numbers like this. So.
Well,
we'll see.
What would really push it? I mean, what happened with comic book movies was they have to get a hit. I mean, there's video game movies out there. I mean, there is. Yeah,
they've been around for a while, but they're all crappy.
Yeah, so they need to actually get a really good one, like Spider-Man was for video game or for comic books.
Exactly.
And then Dark Knight obviously broke the mold again, but they need to have that first. Which Prince of Persia. That it's Jerry Bruckheimer's same stuff as the whole Pirates of the Caribbean, so it's looking like they're putting out the next Disney big budget action family adventure franchise.
Oh yeah.
So, and it looks, I mean, from the trailer, it looks really good. So that could be the movie that opens up a lot more money, because if studios have faith in it, then they'll put more money into it, get better writers, better directors, better actors. So that could possibly be the opening of the floodgates. So, and
We'll see.
Not to mention all the board game movies that are coming out.
Oh, that's true. You're right.
So, but another point to the Xbox thing is that they just did an update on their consoles, which, despite all three of us having Xboxes, Derek is the only one to experience the update. So
well, I think it just happened yesterday, didn't it, or was it?
Yeah, it was. It was just yesterday.
Just okay.
I upgraded in between classes just because. Well, it's not even an upgrade. It was already hidden under there. You just you downloading an app is the way it's working.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not like something that you automatically turn on. I actually had to go hunting for it. They didn't make it really that easy to get the new apps.
It wasn't like the automatic deal where the screen goes black and it's like,
yeah,
an update's available.
That's exactly what I was expecting, but no. Do you remember like a couple weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago, there was an Xbox update, and it didn't really have much to show for it. So I think what it was is it was the sleeper. These apps were on there, but you had to download maybe like a code to implement them. Anyway, so the apps that have come to Xbox Live, and this is only for the gold account members. So the silver folks, is that what it's called? Silver, platinum? I don't remember. The free one. The free one.
Silver. Yeah, silver's free.
What does that give you? Because you can't play games, right?
You get access to the store, pretty much.
Oh, you can buy stuff, but you can't.
Yeah, we'll take your money, but we're not giving you anything. All right.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you have the Xbox Live Gold account, you're entitled to these apps. It's Twitter, Facebook, and LastFM, but also actually the Zune store, which that's the only thing I did not install because I've never spent any time at the Zune store. So I'm not going to start on my Xbox.
Nor do you have a Zune.
Exactly.
That would require a store for it.
The only thing I could think of using the Zune store is maybe if they had podcasts that you could download. If I could just, since I don't have Apple TV or something, if I could just download some, Revision 3 shows or something.
Yeah.
That would be nice. But I did download the Twitter app, which by far is the most useless in my opinion on Xbox Live. A lot of these apps that came out really would only be useful, I think, if you had the like the extra keyboard that you attach to your controller, that little thumb, thumb keyboard, which I can't remember what it was, like $50 or something.
Probably.
Anyway, so like Twitter on your Xbox, I thought, okay, maybe this would be really cool. Maybe it's like tweeting what games you're playing, which I know they have services that already do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it just takes you to like a Twitter esque web page that displays all your followers and and all your people you follow, and you watch your Twitter feed. You can tweet. If you don't have that keyboard, then you got to go through the painful process of typing.
That stopped me right there, basically.
Yeah, exactly. And like
tweeting on Xbox.
Yeah, I wouldn't even. It was too much trouble for me to even put that. Oh, I just installed, Twitter on my Xbox. Just no, I'm not even going there.
With your phone in your pocket, you're like, yeah, this is easier.
Yeah, let's use the Xbox controller to enter all this text in. So, if they did have some sort of update, or maybe they do have a feature, I've just explored it for about 20 minutes, all these apps. If it did like have something where you could maybe see where your followers were playing or something like that, then maybe it'd be more useful. But as of right now, no. I mean, even when they announced that, Twitter on the Xbox, that kind of went over my head where I was just like, oh, why?
Yeah. It's like having Twitter on your DVD player.
Yeah, exactly.
I could see like if they did something where like a lot of the iPhone games have a thing where you can like post your score to Twitter. Like if it had a thing where to integrate like when you get achievements or whatever. To
Mr. Justin King on Cannibal.
Yeah, exactly. Can run through the whole game. But I could see something like that. But even then, like if you follow somebody that plays games a lot, that would probably get annoying. Like just seeing all their updates and all the achievements they've got. It's like, wow, that's great.
I might be more likely to disconnect that app because I don't want everybody seeing how much I'm playing video games or something. If I can, I should be doing something else. And no, clearly I was not working on that project, Mr. Smith. I was. So no, the Twitter thing, take it or leave it. I don't know. I'll leave it really. I don't think I'll be accessing it very much in the near future. They did have the Facebook app. Which was actually pretty cool. The coolest feature of this is that anybody that you're friends with on Facebook, you can link them to their Xbox Live accounts instantly. So it goes through all your contacts and sees who you aren't following on your Xbox Live, and it'll do it for you. And vice versa, all your Xbox Live friends, you can find their Facebook pages. So that right there is worth the price of admission. That's pretty cool.
Which is the price is free, so
exactly. So there you go.
That's a huge endorsement, Derek.
Well, I stand by what I say.
I highly recommend a free product that you should check out. It's worth the money.
Exactly.
Awesome.
Actually, one cool thing was, I really only used it to look at everybody's pictures on like the news feed and everything, which it displays like as a slideshow. Okay. It's a little jittery. It doesn't look as nice as like some other apps that do Facebook, portraits or something, but it's kind of cool. Not something I would definitely spend much time with, when I've got my laptop in front of me or my phone right next to me or something, But just the fact that you can find your Facebook friends on Xbox Live is very, very cool. And then you can do all your typical stuff, your status updates, which is essentially Twitter on Facebook, and other similar stuff. Like I don't know. I don't think you could look at people's profiles or anything. It was mainly like the news feed, and you could see photos. So in the first stage of their release, that's kind of what you're getting with the Facebook app. And then the last thing I tried was the LastFM app, which if you don't know what LastFM is, it's like Pandora Radio. It's user selected radio stations.
Yeah.
Very similar to Pandora. LastFM, I haven't used it actually since I installed Pandora. I kind of lost that battle, but I reactivated my account, which was easy enough to do, and went into it. I'm a little disappointed for one reason. All these apps, you have to stay in the app to experience it. You can't have it in the background. Nothing runs in the background. So, if you're playing a game, you can't make a tweet and you can't do a Facebook thing. The real benefit, I would say, to LastFM is if you could have that actual music playing while you're playing the game. But
that's true.
That's what I actually was thinking, because a lot of times when I'm playing online, I'm streaming music from my MacBook to the Xbox, and so I'm listening to my music, my iTunes library, while I'm playing a game through the system speakers. And LastFM, I thought, okay, that's how they're going to use it. But no, you just kind of have to stay there and stay on the webpage and listen to your LastFM. So it's the kind of cool thing if you're doing something in the background and you want music. and you maybe your computer speakers suck, and you're trying to get good music on real speakers. That would be the benefit of having LastFM on your Xbox. But it's a really nice UI. Like it's a good experience, and they do have really good artists on LastFM.
Yeah.
But all these apps, the fact that you can't do it in the background, I felt like I was using it on the iPhone or something. Just no background processes.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of devices that are starting to get more of these app-like features. Like a lot of Blu-ray players are starting to get Netflix or Pandora or I'm sure or YouTube apps to where they're kind of giving you a similar like Apple TV-esque feel, or other things you can do with the device if it's connected to the internet, which is pretty cool. Although with the Xbox, I don't know how much I would use that necessarily. As far as like music and stuff, I could always just play whatever off my iTunes library, or just go to Pandora or whatever, their website, and have that playing through the speakers. So it's could that they're starting to get more. It'd be interesting to see what other apps they may add, because I'm sure this is just the start. Although, I don't know what else they would really do.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a start, and it's definitely, we're heading in the right direction. We need like this constant unity between all our universes, whether it's gaming, movies, and, internet. Like everything is getting melded into one pot, which is awesome. When you're living in a geek world, you want all your geek friends to be connected. So very, very cool. But I think it's just something to watch like in the future. I'm sure they can take off with it and make it more useful. But right now it's just like, hey, we've got, Facebook on your Xbox. What do you think of that?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually
look what we can do.
Yeah. I'm a PC. But it'd be cool. I'm surprised that there's no like podcasting, like ways to get podcasts on your Xbox. Like, I don't think Xbox
has really, opened that door yet. Like, I don't think they're even aware, like, or Microsoft in general, Well, like, I don't think podcasts are on their horizon.
Well, you can get podcasts on your Zune through the Zune Marketplace.
I would hope so, but...
Yeah, you can. Well, you can get this. I have the link on the thing.
That's true.
Where you can get... So they have... I haven't been to the Marketplace. I haven't, like, submitted the show. I don't really know how to submit it to the Marketplace like iTunes. I haven't really tried either. But, I mean, you could... It's got its own feed. So they do have podcasts, but I'm surprised that there's not, like, a podcast app for that. Or what would be really awesome is if like Hulu got a deal with them, since I know Hulu, when they came out with their desktop client, there was a big thing that they did not want that to be able to run on an Apple TV and stuff like that. So maybe they'll get a deal with Microsoft to open that up. But that would be something that I wouldn't mind. Turn that device into more of a multimedia device rather than just a gaming device, which I guess it kind of is, streaming it from your other computers if you can. But
yeah, if you're using it that way, then I mean, for me, it is my Apple TV for the most part that I'm able to stream just about 90% of the things that I own in a digital form. I can stream it to the Xbox, so I do use it that way. But yeah. If they could implement a little bit more the podcast aspect, I'd be more down. But I think over time, I'm sure they will. It's just one of those things that gamers don't listen to podcasts. This is for old men and soccer moms or something. This is probably how Microsoft is looking at it. These are for commuters.
What are you talking about? I'm a PC. I know what's best for these people.
That's right.
But
I like how we're all doing the gruff voice tonight. This is
I think that's pretty much how Microsoft sounds, right?
I think so. When I hear them in my head, that's how they sound.
Oh, So you have the voices too. That's awesome. That's great.
You are not
just me.
Windows 7 was my idea. Those damn commercials. I hate them.
I haven't seen that many of them, but I know there's a lot of them out there. Good for them.
Good for you, Microsoft.
At least,
as a counterpoint to that, though, I'm also sick of the Mac versus PC commercials with Justin Long and the other guy. Those are getting way too drawn out.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah.
seen any of the new ones of those either, but I haven't heard. Yeah, I'm just over that too. They need to come up with. I like their whole simplistic thing, white background, all that stuff. Cool, but please let's just move on to something else.
Exactly.
So awesome. So speaking of Twitter on the Xbox, there is some big news coming from a specific Twitter account set up by a San Diegoans.
San Diegoans.
Justin Halpern set up a Twitter account to document the random funny things that his dad says. And so the Twitter account is Shit My Dad Says. And it's fairly new. He started it this past summer. I think it was June. There's only 75 updates so far, and apparently he's already got a TV deal with CBS. So, and I think I read somewhere that he already has a book deal also for the same thing. But yeah, so it's a fairly new account, only 75 tweets, and he's already got almost 800,000 followers. But the tweets are funny, and usually on the good old Follow Friday, that's always a good one to recommend to people because it's funny. But
I've been doing the recommendations on Follow Friday for that for quite a while since I discovered it, which is only maybe a month and a half ago now.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about the whole Twitter update guy? Because there's a lot of other accounts. I mean, this one, as far as I know, it's all legit. It's all real. But I mean, there's a lot of other ones that are out there that are fake, but are still really funny.
Mm-hmm.
But
like the Darth Vader. Like, have you guys ever followed?
Yeah,
Darth Vader, Yoda.
Yeah. There's a lot of and this is the first one that's gotten, from what I know, gotten a some kind of entertainment deal out of it. But what do you think of that? Let's start with you, Derek.
Okay, good for him. That's cool. I'm a follower. It's funny to me. Mm-hmm. On the other half of the coin, how the hell do you get a TV deal out of this thing? I do not understand that. Like, okay, I can see maybe a book. You know, it's funny. This would be a good joke book or something. But I don't understand how this guy this is clearly just a thing, where some executive at just CBS just what's all this Twitter about? I hear Ellen DeGeneres talking about it, and apparently it's going to be big. So he just happens to log on and sees just some of the recent tweets, and maybe just stumbled upon it by somebody else's account. Just shit my dad says.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he probably just saw one tweet and he was sold. Just hire this guy.
And then,
this guy is funny.
And then after he went to work, he went to his other job at Microsoft. It's like, I just got a great deal.
Get this. I just sold a TV show. Yeah. No, this guy. It's cool, but I don't know if it's warranted. I don't know, and I don't even know where to go with this thing. I don't know. This is okay. I think it's cool that you can get somewhere off Twitter.
Yeah.
I think definitely funny. I don't see how you can make a long-lasting TV show out of this.
Yeah.
This is. I think this is going to fail. Pretty bigly.
They were talking, from what it sounds like anyway, that it's going to be kind of like a TV sitcom thing about, I'm assuming, him living with his family, and then the dad is just going to be a main character in the whole thing, and probably just saying these random insulting things, kind of like Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah,
so
Everybody Loves Raymond.
Yeah. So I mean, it could easily be turned into that, because it's just taking these one-liners basically that the dad would say, and probably just putting those in the script. But yeah, it's assuming this is real, all of his material is coming from whatever his dad says. So it's not like he's making up this funny stuff necessarily, unless he is, which is, then he can actually maybe be a writer, because it's actually really funny stuff. But if he's just copying down stuff that his dad says, then I don't know how far you could go with that necessarily.
Let's hope that the father doesn't die, and there goes all the material.
Yeah.
He is 73 years old, so who knows?
Yeah. So Justin, what do you think about all the hoopla over this new thing here?
Well, I second Derek on the fact that this is crazy that you can actually get a TV deal through tweeting. I think it opens up a whole new realm of people trying to go for something like this to land themselves a TV deal. I also second Derek in thinking that it's going to fail miserably. I'm not sure. Are they planning on starring the actual people who are doing this in the comedy?
Doubt it.
Or is it
I doubt it, yeah.
No, he's the guy who runs it, Justin Halpern is going to be co-writing it, I guess, with somebody else. So
somebody who knows what he's doing.
But I doubt, I don't see why they would put, unless it was like a reality-based show, which it didn't sound like that. It sounds like they're going to do like a traditional sitcom type of thing.
Okay. It kind of shows that TV producers are kind of scraping for anything they can find these days to find ideas for new shows.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like that. But I mean, there's a lot of people on Twitter that are pretty funny. Like we said, Darth Vader, Yoda, Cobra Commander. There's a lot of funny accounts out there that they could base some shows off if they want to. But
yeah,
it opens up a whole new realm. It does. But it also shows, like I just said, that these companies now are just scraping for anything. That tweet was funny. Sign them. Let's make a show.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
this guy knows what everybody laughs at.
Yeah.
That's comedy right there.
Yeah.
Can you imagine selling that to the VP of production for CBS, Okay, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Now there's this thing called Twitter, and on it people, write stuff. Let's make a show. Oh.
Yeah.
Stuff is good. Stuff is really good. And it's on this Twitter thing, huh?
Okay. The bottom of the article here, too, says they're making another show based on tweets called Text from Last Night. I mean, what is that supposed to be about? Just people texting each other?
Isn't there a new show on Revision 3 about that?
I don't know. I'm a little behind in my Revision 3.
Oh, man. I seen some they've promoted it a little bit after a couple of the shows. But yeah, it looks like stage performances or reenactments of texts and tweets and just random things. But it's stage actors kind of doing reenactments of it. But I don't know if it's a show yet. I'm looking at it right now.
Well, if it isn't, let's sign them because that sounds like a good idea.
People texting funny texts. Sold.
That's right. No, that's cool, but I don't know. Actually, this would probably do really well if he was doing it on a podcast, because that's something that this could take off on. Because all the people that are on Twitter are a lot more likely to watch something on a podcast of this nature than they would on TV, I think.
Very true.
So, he actually would probably be a huge success if he went as a podcast, just a weekly episode. Yeah. Check this out,
Yeah. Okay, so the show is Instant Messages, spelled INST space MSGS, and it's a web anthology series dramatizing social media based on everything from submitted instant message conversations to found Craigslist ads. Instant Message shines satirical light on modern communication. And that's new show on Revision 3. It looks like they have one episode out right now. So I don't know how funny it is, but I can see just the comedy that you would find in just Craigslist posts probably could give you material for a show like this, but this actually seems like it'd be a funnier show than shit my dad says.
Yeah.
Well, it kind of reminds me. Do you guys ever remember on MTV? This was probably circa 1993. Mm-hmm. There used to be a show called "You Wrote It, You Watch It," and it was hosted by John. I can't think of his name. The guy, Jon Stewart. It was his first TV hosting gig.
Huh.
And anyway, what you would do is you would write into the show, you would write anything, just a series of events, and it was almost like it was improv, just random stuff thrown together. Anyway, so you'd write it, and then they would perform, your skit. And it didn't necessarily have to be a skit. It could have just been your life, a day in your life. and it failed, after probably 2 seasons or something. But it was funny as hell watching it. So I think that this is something kind of in that nature. Just we're gonna act out stuff that you have provided to us. And, I don't know, but I would definitely like to see something like that. That sounds okay. Do you guys remember there used to be talk of like an actual Twitter television show?
Yeah, it's called Shit My Dad Says.
Yeah, that's fair.
No, I haven't.
Good one, Mr. Taylor. Good one.
It's like, I don't know where you've been, but that was kind of the topic we're
no,
discussing.
the actual, like, a show called Twitter.
No.
It was supposed to be, I guess just like, highlighting the most random tweets, I guess, of the day.
It's like the dig reel of tweets.
I guess, but this was supposed to be on network television.
That's ridiculous. That's a worst idea.
This I remember this surfaced. I think it was like last May or something. There's gonna be Twitter's coming to television. I remember I was
that
watching.
was early too. That was before the whole Ashton Kutcher blow up.
When
he blew Twitter up.
Well, I saw it on Geek Brief TV with Kelly Lewis, and she mentioned it, and I haven't heard of it since. But it was in the works, so I don't know. Maybe it looks like that this other thing, like text from last night, that could be the replacement for it. It's like the studios are wanting to dive into this online world.
Yeah, so they don't want to pay writers, so they're just like, what can we steal from the internet today?
Call your friend over at Microsoft and find out what they're doing.
Yeah. No, I'm a PC. So I
okay,
totally
we put that to
yeah, we did.
All right.
Yeah, so I don't know. I'm interested to see if it even comes out. I mean, a lot of things can happen before the show even hits the air. I mean, there's shows that have been canceled far before they actually were broadcasted. So who knows if this show would even get, and it's not going to be called Shit My Dad Says. It's going to be renamed everybody.
Stuff My Dad Says.
Yeah, everybody loves the Shit My Dad Says. Maybe, I don't know, just throwing that out there. If it does become that, I'm suing.
Life with Roger.
Yeah, Roger. But I need to check out this instant messages show because.
Well, don't do it right now because we have.
Oh no, I know because I would get sidetracked and that's just not good for the whole show.
I can hear the iTunes opening up right now.
Yeah, I was actually thinking of subscribing to it right now, but I was like, you know what? If I do this, I'm probably gonna crash something and we'll have to start all over again.
Network gets slower. Yeah, no.
Yeah. So anyway, enough with the Twitter, Xbox stuff. What kind of stuff are you looking to pick up this holiday season? Primarily Black Friday.
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Justin, is there anything on the horizon that you are looking for or waiting on a spiffy deal to jump on that?
I'm looking for, the whole Blu-ray thing. I'm thinking I might just step into the Blu-ray game this holiday season. I'm still debating on a PS3 or not. It's still a war going on in my mind if I should get a cheap $100 Blu-ray player from Walmart or go for a PS3. Yeah. But that's pretty much the only thing I have on my mind set right now for this holiday season is a Blu-ray player of some sort. I'm going to acquire one. I'm not sure what it's going to be yet, but I will have one this Christmas.
Wow. That's not a bad idea. Yeah. I don't know. I had a PS3 a year ago. It's been broken for a year. So I had Blu-ray for about 8 months or 9 months or something.
Okay.
And I don't know. I mean, Blu-ray on the PS3, very handy, very good quality. But it's an expensive Blu-ray player if that's all. I don't know. There's not enough games out there for me to be interested in.
Well, there's more. Uncharted 2 looks pretty awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, granted, there's a few.
Little Big
God
Planet
of War 3
looks pretty
coming
cool.
out next year. Yeah. There's a few on the horizon that I'm going to have to play. So
I got one because I wanted the Blu-ray player, but also I really wanted to play Metal Gear Solid 4.
Yeah.
So that was the hence me buying it. But since it's been down, I just haven't gotten around to paying money to get it fixed. It's low on my priorities. But I do miss the Blu-ray. I would probably, if it were me, if I were doing it again, I'm not going to buy another PlayStation 3. I'm more likely to buy a cheap Blu-ray player. I would definitely. I miss my 4 Blu-rays that I own. I'd like to watch them again. I know there are means that I could watch them again, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Well, I have a Blu-ray player, but it's in my home theater PC, which does not work right now. So,
Ooh.
yeah, it was like a $60 Lite-On Blu-ray player, but for some reason, like I installed it. I installed a new sound card and went to go boot up and nothing. So I don't know what's wrong with it, and I haven't had time to fix it, or try and fix it.
So the whole computer doesn't boot up?
Yeah, and that was that Woot computer that I bought. Like I talked about the first episode. Yeah, I got it and it worked. Like I updated everything, and I want to get Windows 7 on it, but it doesn't even work now. So I don't know what's wrong with it. But yeah, I have a Blu-ray player installed on there, so technically I could watch Blu-rays in theory. But
you sound like you're in the same boat as me.
It's ridiculous, man. I was so pissed when that thing didn't boot up.
So close yet so far.
Yeah, but but there are supposed to be $100 sub $100 Blu-ray players out this season. So that was the price point that I was kind of waiting for. But since I already have technically a Blu-ray player, I can't see buying that. But I don't know. There's nothing really that I'm looking forward to getting necessarily. But if there's something out there that looks like it's an awesome must-have or whatever, definitely jump on it. Derek, are you looking forward to any specific deals or anything like that?
I kind of like you find myself at a rare moment in my life where I have achieved economic bliss, where I don't need to buy anything currently at the moment. I feel like, okay, I've attained my items.
You've reached gadget nirvana.
Nirvana, exactly. I don't, I'm not craving anything right now. I'm just okay. I'm there. I'm good. So no, there's nothing. Last Black Friday is when I bought my MacBook. That's when I became a Mac user.
Wow.
And I went through a lot of hoops to get my MacBook, but actually, I did the Best Buy route where they opened up their Black Friday sales a week in advance to promote, sales because of the downturn economy.
Yeah.
So I got mine, a week before Black Friday, so I didn't have to go through, necessarily a Black Friday shopping experience to get it. And it wasn't that great of a deal, honestly. It was like $100 cheaper or something,
Yeah.
But when you're buying an Apple thing, you'll take whatever discount you can get.
It's rare that they ever discount anything with Apple products.
Actually, I hear, this is a very loose rumor, I don't know, but that they were going to be knocking off, about 10 to 20% off of their items this year, like of MacBooks and iMacs and stuff like that.
Well, they have done more sales more recently, I guess, but in general, it's if they do, it's really small, that they like a small percentage that they knock off.
Yeah.
Usually.
I don't know. I wish I were in the market for something. Like, I would definitely love to get a new, like one of those iMacs or something. If I actually had a desk of my own to put it on or something, they look beautiful. So honestly, I will not be going out on Black Friday this year. There's nothing that I need. I know everybody gets their Christmas shopping done, but I've decided that I'm doing mine all through Amazon this year because being a recently new member of the Amazon Prime.
Me too, actually.
Account, yeah. So I'm definitely going to take advantage of that. And also, I could do woot.com. As a means, because dang, there are some deals on that.
Woot providing the microphone Justin is currently speaking to.
Yes, thank you very much, Woot, and thank you very much, Mr. Ray Taylor.
And it hasn't broken down yet, like the other Woot.
Yeah, Robot Justin might be extinct, folks.
Oh wow, yeah, that's right. I didn't even think about that.
Oh, sure.
Wow.
Days.
I also got a mixing board from Woot, but I don't know how the hell to use it yet, so I haven't even tried hooking it up. But
did it come with any software? Stuff?
Yeah, it did. It basically hooks up USB, so it's gonna be like all virtual control panel on the computer screen.
For some reason, I thought maybe because I know M Audio, they're kind of owned by Digidesign and Pro Tools, and so there's a lot of bundle packs with the Pro Tools stuff. And I thought, did you get your hands on Pro Tools? Because I would be very jealous.
I don't think it came with Pro Tools, but I mean, I can always.
You'd probably know. Tools. You would probably know if there was a major Pro Tools enhancement on your Mac Pro or something.
Yeah. No, I haven't even installed anything yet. I haven't even
But
tried.
that was a seriously good deal, though.
Well, I know I need another microphone just in case. I wanted the mixing board because I know that's what you need for doing multiple microphones, which I'm hoping this will be able to do. I was thinking it had USB inputs for microphones on the mixing board, but it doesn't, so it's going to be like a virtual. I'm assuming anyway. I don't know.
Actually, there's actually a really cool thing that Blue makes. It's called the Blue Icicle. And what it does takes the USB connection and makes it an XLR connection, so you can connect it to
like a
So I think it's like $50, which is relatively inexpensive for as far as like anything that uses XLR is professional grade, like studio quality stuff. So it's cheap for what it is. I don't know what the sound quality would be of that, but one of these days I'll get around to.
It's supposed to be good. One. The reviews I've heard on it, it does really well. So, but
sure. The microphone brand, they also do headphones. They have their own version of that, and they actually sell one with I can't remember the number of it, but it's a Shure microphone that has XLR connections. So it's professional. Like it's supposed to be, like something that you would use if you were a live musician.
Yeah. The Shure microphones are like the most rugged, most used microphone.
They're a staple.
Like the 82 or whatever the number is. But
58 or something. Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway, so they have a combo kit that comes with the Pro microphone and plus the USB adapter. So you can either use it on a Pro rig, connected through XLR connections, or you can do that. And that's like $160, so it's a bit more pricey. But I would just buy the Icicle if it comes time where you need to actually use that mixer. That would be your.
Well, the mixer is. I mean, there's no inputs on it, so.
Really?
Yeah, it just connects. There's only one output, and it connects to your computer with USB. So that's what I was thinking. I thought there would be microphone inputs on it, to where I'd hook multiple or like two microphones up to it. So I think it's all virtual.
Yeah, then I guess it would be. Well, you got me. That ain't
so yeah, that's one thing. When I first got it, I unpacked it. I was looking around, and there's no inputs on it. So I'm really curious to.
that mic looks cool enough, So
yeah. The mic looks cool, and it works.
Good.
And it was a good price, but and apparently there's for those people that are possibly going out to the whole Black Friday thing, there is an app for that, and it's on the Apple Store. It doesn't have good reviews. I think it's only like 2 stars, or 1.5 stars, or 2.5 stars. I didn't read all the reviews for it, but it's probably limited. It's basically an app that tells you where the good deals are for what stores and things like that. But I guess the descriptions or the pictures aren't very accurate, and so you have to be careful and read the descriptions before heading out to go get something. But of course, there's going to be an app for Black Friday deals. So
makes sense.
Yeah, but I guess there's nothing that we're super excited about, but the Blu-ray.
I did not take your bait, sir.
Yeah,
I did not.
It's really
yeah.
Close deals on shoes.
Yeah,
special.
Yeah, that's always good. So anyway,
I downloaded your app. I haven't used it yet, but I have it. So there.
Which app?
The Black Friday app, by dealnews.com.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't. I was going to, but I was like, I don't want it.
I love that you tell us to.
I didn't tell you to download it.
Okay, you didn't, but all right. Here it is.
Actually, when I read the article, it sounded like the App Store was going to have Black Friday deals, so there'd be discounts on the applications and games. That's what I thought by the headline. Cool. Yeah, it's like Black Friday hits the App Store, so that's what I thought that was the meaning of that was. But apparently, there's an application that notifies you of deals. So yeah, it was not what I thought it was by the time I read it to post, and I didn't even read it till after like I had already done the show notes. I was like, well, what is this thing? Like, oh, it's not deals in the App Store. Although there might be. You never know, because they can do discounts.
Can you imagine
and stuff like that.
if it's like people aren't willing to pay the 99 cents for an app?
Yeah. Well,
I'm waiting for it to go down to 66 cents.
Well, there's some apps like a certain navigation app that costs $100. So if that went on sale, that might be good for the people like Justin and I who haven't bought it yet for full price.
They did an update today.
Oh, did
Now they have text to speech and other
Nice.
features which I haven't used yet. But
Well, that's the awesome thing about the apps in the app stores that they can do updates and stuff, and they're usually free, which is
They
which
evolve.
Is awesome. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. So let's just move into our official recommendations, which I don't recommend getting that app, and it was a free app, so it's not like you paid money for it.
right.
So
I'm so glad we brought it up.
yeah, exactly. So this is the weekly section. We do this every episode where we recommend basically something we're into or we're using a lot, whether it be an application, software for your computer, a gadget, a movie that we've seen, video game we're playing, book we're reading, just something we're into that we want to recommend. So Justin, why don't you start us off with your recommendation for episode 11?
Well, a few weeks ago, you might remember me talking all kinds of shit about Farmville, which is a Facebook-based game.
No.
I actually discovered. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
don't
no,
say it.
I remember
Please
that.
don't say it.
Derek wasn't here, but I remember it.
I hate Farmville.
Yeah.
Moving on. I'd actually discovered a fun game to play on
Okay.
Facebook, which goes along with one of my hobbies, an obsession of mine, actually,
Uh-oh.
snowboarding. It is called Downhill Snowboard. It is a physics-based, kind of side-scrolling snowboarding game where you basically just ride down the mountain. You can pop up and do tricks and stuff and twirl around. Kind of like comic-style kind of graphics. It's not too insane as far as the graphics go, but it's really fun, and I like it a lot because I'm a snowboarder. I love snowboarding. And I wanted to go back and actually recommend a Facebook game after talking so much trash about Facebook gaming a few weeks ago. So
Wow, Facebook.
that's my
game.
inspiration for that. So
You can't show your face on Facebook now after
Yeah.
that kind of smack talk of Farmville.
and I still get requests all the time. Too. It blows my mind.
Well, that's just despite your glowing comments for the game. So it's a Facebook. Do you
It
know?
is a
Is it
game,
similar to Cannonball at all?
It's sort of like Cannonball. Yeah,
Okay.
it's different but very similar.
Okay.
Well, that didn't make sense actually. It's similar in a few ways, but different in a couple other key areas.
It's exactly the same, but slightly different.
Yeah, exactly. Downhill Snowboard. It's by I think a company called Mojo who makes Facebook games.
Okay.
And look it up. It's free, of course.
Nice, awesome. Well, maybe it'll come to a iPhone app as well.
Possibly.
Probably
I mean,
for $2.99.
Cannonball did. How much was Cannonball? Was that $2.99?
$1.99.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not bad. But the games are so cheap. It's like $2. It's
Yeah,
like, should
really.
I buy a soda or a game? So Derek Helmer, what is your recommendation for this week?
Okay, staying away from the iPhone this week, which is probably very welcome by many of our listeners. This week I have a Mac-based app, but although it'll work on Windows and Linux, you're the one who actually introduced me into this thing quite a while ago. It's called HandBrake.
Oh yeah.
HandBrake. Now, okay, I'm not advocating the use of this product. I haven't used it.
It's for
myself.
archiving and backing up things
Exactly.
that you've already purchased.
Which I do think that should be illegal. That you should be able to make copies.
You
Okay,
should,
what
yeah.
HandBrake does is, say you have a DVD. HandBrake will allow you to rip that to your computer or hard drive or a media server, store it on there. Anyway, it rips it. It can encode it into, just about every file format out there. It'll play on anything. Actually, okay, I shouldn't say it does every single file format, but
It does almost everything. Like just in the Apple section, you can rip it to specify for any of the generations, your iPhone, Apple TV. But basically, it'll rip it in a format that iTunes likes, and then you can share it over all the different, Apple products that you have. But then it also does other formats that I don't use as much. But there's a ton of them on there, so I haven't come
Well-
across one that I didn't need to.
yeah. I've been thinking of. I won't say that I have used this to rip my entire DVD collection in the form of iPhone format videos.
Yeah.
Not that I would do such a thing, but it would be nice to know that I could, should it be the case. Or maybe if I were to stream it to my Xbox, this might do it. Anyway, HandBrake is a free app. The website you can get it at is handbrake.fr. I'm pretty sure this is a foreign. I'm guessing that's France that created this app. It's an open source project. It's really intuitive, very easy to use. I think they say they recommend that you download the media player VLC.
Yeah. I think it actually runs on
like
a
its
part
engine
of
or something.
Yes, so it can read because VLC is really good at reading tons of different formats. I think you have to download that. So
Probably maybe some of the copy protection is
Yeah.
bypassed through VLC.
Yeah.
So if you're getting this hands on, chances are you're gonna probably have VLC as well. But if not, then you should download VLC. Anyway, so yeah, that works Mac or Windows. Very useful tool, especially if you wanted to watch, say, anything you want on DVD on your iPhone or Apple TV or your computer, period. And you don't want to carry around a disc, or maybe you just want a backup of a disc. Which how many DVDs have we had that have gotten scratched and aren't usable anymore? So it's very feasible to download this thing and use it. The only bad part about HandBrake is you're gonna get this no matter what kind of ripping you're doing, but just the amount of time it takes to rip something, it's gonna be a good deal of time.
I agree. And just a side note, because I've used that. Basically, I got it one because I have probably close to 1,000 DVDs. I don't know if that's still accurate. I'm not sure how many I have now. And they used to be in bookshelves, and because I've moved so much, they've migrated into folders, like the CD folders. So I have like 400 disc or 300 disc CD folders that all my movies are in, and that's like the worst pain in the ass to find a movie you want to watch. So basically, over like a year and a half, almost 2 years ago, I started ripping my movies, and it's almost like real time. It's like a 2 hour. It depends on your computer processors, but that maxes out my computer for sure. And it takes a while to rip it. But I have two 1.5 terabyte drives that I've ripped a lot of the movies that I own on there. I'm not sure how many I have total, but it makes it so much easier to browse through it, especially like on the Apple TV. It's a much better interface. And if you are doing it for that, there's a really good app. I guess I'll recommend. I'm going to recommend two right now. So I'll just go along with Derek's that I also use when I rip or encode stuff. One is awesome, like if you are doing it to do like a home media thing. I'm pretty sure it's just an Apple application. I'm not sure if it's multi-platform. This is kind of spur of the moment as far as my recommendation. But MetaX, METAX. Basically, when you rip a movie, the good parts, similar to like music, you want to have the album art, you want to have all the information. What MetaX does is it searches for the poster art and all the information, which on Apple TV or iTunes or whatever, you can have directors, actors, basic synopsis, plot synopsis, extended plot synopsis, all those different things, chapter titles, all those different things. Basically, it searches the internet and gets all those things for you, so you don't have to input them yourself. Which is a huge pain in the ass if you're doing it by hand. And especially if you're doing like a whole library of video. And another application I use for transcoding video. So if I have video in a certain format, I used to use this a lot with Billy Dallas Show. It's called Visual Hub. You have to pay for it. I don't remember how much I paid for it, but it's pretty cheap. I think it's like $20 or something like that. But it's pretty similar to HandBrake as far as how much it accepts and how much it can encode to, as far as taking it from one format and putting it into another. One of the things with Apple TV or any Apple product, it basically only plays the one type of format. So if you've ever gotten any video files or whatever that are of different formats, you want to be able to play them on your phone or your Apple TV or just in iTunes, you have to transcode it to the specific file format, which this basically does. It, instead of taking it from a disk and transcoding it to H.264 file format, it'll take any type, like if you have flash video files, it'll take that and transcode it into the proper file format for whatever you want. So if you have video and you want to move it around a lot, that's definitely another good one. But that's paid app. So I guess I have
actually on a little addition to that, I did hear that Visual Hub's been discontinued. They have a replacement app. I don't have it in front of me. I'm not sure exactly
Okay.
what it was, but yeah, I don't think you can get Visual Hub.
Okay.
At least from them. I'm sure you can get a torrent of it or something. That you
Yeah.
could
Well,
use.
at least MetaX, if you are doing the whole backing up thing, it is awesome, dude. It searches all the different places that you would find this information, but it does it all for you.
I actually just installed it right now.
Yeah. So, and I'm not sure if it's multi-platform, but I'm sure there's with PCs, there's probably a zillion different applications that are similar to that. But yeah. So anyway, I guess that's a good recommendation section for this week. Let's just wrap up this episode. It's one of our shortest episodes, actually.
I know.
So let's just wrap it up and tell everybody, all of our listeners, where they can find us, find more of our work on the internet. Let's start with you, Justin King. Where can we find more of your work on the internet?
Well, you can check out my portfolio at jkdesigns.squarespace.com. You can also follow me on Twitter. I am twitter.com/@JustinKing. Oh, I'm sorry. Twitter.com/JustinKing1, capital J, capital K, and the number 1. Also, friend me up on Facebook, Facebook.com/JustinKing1. No capitals there, and also the number 1. That is me on the internet. Friend me up.
Awesome. Derek Helmer, where can we find more of your work on the internet?
Well, I write a Twitter account called Shit My Dad Says.
That's you, man.
I'm responsible, damn it.
Awesome.
Oh my God, meow.
You can find me at twitter.com/Derek Helmer, DerekHelmer. You can find me at my blog by the same name, DerekHelmer.com, spelled the exact same way. And you can see me on Studio 20 with Jennifer Townsend, which is starting to slack off on when it's coming out, only because we've been so sick. Like over the last month, we've kind of gotten lazy. Okay, I've gotten lazy. I'm just not willing to go through filming an episode while I've got the sniffles.
Yeah.
So anyway, Studio 20 can be found over at blueeyedgirl.com. Girl spelled GERL.
Awesome. And as always, you can find me at twitter.com/Ray Taylor. You can find the website updates for this podcast and other things at twitter.com/Inspired Disorder. There is no E in disorder. You can also join the Inspired Disorder social network. The Inspired Disorder social network at inspireddisorder.ning.com. That's NING.com. Soon, hopefully, I'll have a proper URL for that. And as always, you can find all the work I do, whether it be art, podcasts, creative writing, things like that, at inspireddisorder.com. And if you enjoy our podcast, you want to help out the podcast, tell your friends. If you don't and you want to just give us money, you can do that at inspireddisorder.com/podcast. In addition to just giving us your money, you can also subscribe to the podcast. You can leave us comments. You can download the show. You can view our show notes with links to everything that we recommend and such. And you can also listen to all of our back episodes. If you have any questions or suggestions, you can email those to inspireddisorder@gmail.com. And every Wednesday night at around 11:30 Pacific Standard Time, we record live, and you can find that at inspireddisorder.com/live. And as always, thank you guys for helping me get another episode out. And thank you all for listening to another episode of the Inspired Disorder podcast.